Greetings to one and all. This will be my 9th tutorial about how to play a Ventrue character vampire in Vampire the Masquerade role-playing game, and in this video I will teach you how to use the Dominate discipline. However, even though I played Ventrue for a while, I have made a lot of mistakes. Regardless, I have tried to learn and improve, but if you see me make a mistake, feel free to point it out in the comments. Dominate is influence over another's actions through your own force of will. It is considered very unsubtle, though elders like using it. Though it doesn't always work on other vampires, humans have little chance to resist it. Repeated use on a subject will make them more susceptible to your influence, while at the same time making them more immune to other vampires' dominate. However, it will also damage their psyche, turning them into weak-minded worshippers or even mindless drones, with no initiative or personality. Dominate is not telepathy, and almost everything is done verbally. On the plus side, dominate is an unresisted action, so the subject will not roll any dice to resist. There are some restrictions, however. Dominate will only work if you are older than your target. This is determined by your generation. The lower your generation, the older you are. A fledgling of a higher generation cannot dominate an elder of a lower generation. Command must be clearly understood by the subject. If they don't speak English, your best hope is hand gestures. You cannot force someone to be self-destructive or act against their nature. This also means that if you want to use Dominate in a firefight or some other dangerous situation, you must be smart about phrasing your commands. If you botch in the Dominate role, the subject will become immune to your Dominate for the rest of the night/story. You must hold eye contact with your subject. Shades and lenses are not protection. Instead, the target may try to avoid eye contact by scoring a success on a willpower roll against the difficulty of your intimidation plus manipulation. Also, meeting eyes in a mirror or via a camera is safe. Because you can lock eyes with only one person at a time, you cannot affect multiple people at once. Dominate is difficult to detect. If the instruction is issued in a subtle way, the target may not even realize they were under the influence. The most basic Dominate is called the command. To use this power, you must have one dot in your Dominate discipline on your character sheet. This is a single word order, like go, jump, scream, faint, and so on. It can be concealed in a sentence like, "After feeding on him, I told him to sleep, and he staggered away." The dice pool is manipulation plus intimidation against the difficulty of the target's unspent willpower points. Commanding someone to sleep in a dangerous situation, for example a firefight, does not work. Still, you may try to command them to reload or flee or miss, but the storyteller will increase the difficulty of your role due to distractions. The next power of Dominate is Mesmerize. To use this power, you must have 2 dots in your Dominate on your character sheet. This is like a post-hypnotic suggestion. To attempt this, there must be no distractions. You place instructions in your target's subconscious, which can be immediate or triggered at a later time. For example, the command can be, "Tell me what I want to know," or "When you see a man in a blue shirt, you will follow him and report his actions to me." This can also be concealed in a sentence and used subtly. For instance, if you use your claws during this duel, you will lose. You roll manipulation plus leadership against the difficulty equal to the target's unspent willpower points. The more successes you score, the easier will the target comply. 1 or 2 successes will not get them to do anything they consider strange. More successes, and they will balk only at personal harm. This power cannot create hallucinations or false memories. The one that can create false memories is called the forgetful mind. To use this power, you must have 3 dots in your dominate's character sheet. A vampire who captivates their target in this way can ask for what they remember, tell them to remember something differently, or verbally create a brand new memory. There must be no distractions during this. When creating a new memory, be detailed and descriptive. If you aren't, the new memory will easily be rejected, leaving a hole in the target's memories. You roll wits plus subterfuge against the difficulty equal to the target's unspent willpower points. 1 success removes a single memory for a day. 2 successes remove it permanently. 3 successes may make a slight modification to the target's memory. 4 successes and you may alter or remove the entire scene. 5 successes and you may reconstruct whole periods of the subject's life. A vampire with this power can also sense when the subject's memories were altered like that, and even restore them if he so desires. To sense such a change and/or reverse it, a vampire must have the dominate rating equal to or higher than the one who made the change. He must make a wits plus empathy roll against the difficulty of the original vampire's permanent willpower rating and score more successes than the original vampire did when changing the subject's memory. You cannot use this to restore your own altered memories or sense any alterations. Conditioning. To use this power, you must have 4 dots in your dominate. You gradually indoctrinate your target's mind to become completely loyal to you by whispering subliminal messages to them over a period of time. Servants dominated in this way will become drones, with little in the ways of initiative or personality. They just blindly follow orders and will be bad at problem solving. Such subjects are more difficult to dominate by other kindred. Difficulty is increased by 2 to a maximum of 10 for any other vampire. This is an extended action. You use charisma plus leadership against the difficulty of the target's unspent willpower points. The storyteller will determine the number of successes you must achieve. It's usually around 50, but he will not tell you that number, and you can learn if you are successful only through role-playing. Once you are successful, the target falls so far under your control that eye contact is not necessary for dominate, and they will even risk harming themselves to obey. However, they will also lose much of their initiative, personality, and intellect. The subject can shake off the conditioning if they are separated from you for a period of about 6 months, again depending on the storyteller. If their old master encounters them before they succeed, he can easily completely undo their efforts by a single charisma plus leadership success against the difficulty of the subject's unspent willpower points. And even if the subject manages to shake off the conditioning, their old master can condition them again with half the difficulty. The most dreaded power of dominate is possession. To use this power, you must have 5 dots in your character sheet for dominate. You transfer your consciousness into your subject's body, using it as if it were your own. During this, the subject is in a dream trance and barely aware, while your body is in torpor and defenseless. This doesn't work on other vampires unless they are blood-bonded to you. It also doesn't work on other supernatural creatures. The process starts by you spending a willpower point. This is an extended resisted action. Roll by roll, you must strip the target's willpower points until they have none. With each subsequent turn, you roll Charisma plus Intimidation, and the subject rolls his remaining willpower points to try and resist you. Difficulty for both of you is 7. For each success you score, you strip 1 willpower point from your subject. Only if you botch will the target be spared, because no dominate will work on them after a botch. But even so, their willpower points will not be restored. This process ends when the subject's willpower points are gone. Lastly, you must roll Manipulation plus Intimidation against the difficulty of 7 to determine the level of your control. 1 success, you cannot use your disciplines. 2 successes and you can use sensory powers, like Acute Senses and Auspex, if you have it. 3 successes and you can use Presence. 4 successes and you can use Dominate. 5 successes and you can also use Thaumaturgy, if you have it. Once you possess them, you may take them wherever you wish, even venturing out into sunlight, or eating mortal food or drink. You can even take them somewhere and commit crimes while you possess them, and they will be to blame officially. But you must resist the Dawn's tendency to put you to sleep, for Dawn sleep will break the link and return you to your own body. You may also willingly choose to break the possession and return to your own body at any time over any distance, but until and unless you do, your true physical form is utterly helpless. Any damage done to your vessel is also done to your original body, though your normal soaks apply. If the vessel dies before you choose to return to your body, you slip into torpor. And if your original body is destroyed before you return to it, you remain in your vessel until Dawn expels you, and you suffer the final death. This also applies if you have possessed another vampire. If someone tries to save you from this fate by embracing your human vessel with you inside, you will also suffer the final death. So that is it for my 9th tutorial. In my next tutorial, I will speak about the Presence discipline. If you have enjoyed this, please leave a like, and I will see you again soon.